Good night, and we are live for Tea Time Tuesday. I'm gonna wait a few minutes to see who hops on tonight. Give people a chance to hop on, and I'm gonna share this in the meantime. Oops. Okay. Right, so that should have been shared. So, before I start, I am going to start with the house rules as usual, which is to interact, share this video. If you're catching the replay, you can still share the video. It's not just a thing on the live, right? And feel free to give reactions. So I know I'm getting your feedback, interact, ask questions, say give your opinion on whatever I am saying. And yeah, let's make this as interactive as possible. Right? So I had tea, what is it? Afternoon tea, right? I had afternoon tea yesterday, and at the end of it, I promised that I would share why I closed the Facebook group, and delve a little bit into Facebook groups and my experience and etc. etc. So, as promised, hey Leslie, I see you're there, and thanks for the hearts. So, I'm talking about Facebook groups and my position on them in general, and I feel sometimes with groups, people just create them mainly because they think that they're supposed to, but they're not really why, or it's the thing to do, and it's kind of like a fad. And I just want to address that you shouldn't feel obligated to start a Facebook group. It's a bit of work to keep consistent with it. And I've been back and forth in my mind for months trying to figure out, okay, if you have a very good Facebook group really active, like what's the point of your Facebook page, and vice versa. And I think it's just sometimes you end up repeating a lot of content on your Facebook page and on your groups. And there are pros and cons to both. They are great. Like you get a lot of engagement in groups just because of how Facebook is set up. It's not anything in particular with the host or the admin or the people inside the group. It's just, on a Facebook page, it's very quiet unless you're paying for ads. And in a Facebook group, people always get the notifications unless, people unsubscribe from notifications or set up their settings in different ways for whatever reason. So it's very easy to get a lot of traction. And it's a lot of fun because groups are another way to say community. And everything that we talk about here at CDB Design Studio on a digital forefront, always think about it in a real life aspect, the physical space. So a group is a digital version of meeting up at a particular location where we all talk about something of mutual interest. So whatever this group is about, you're going to this place and that group is all about that. So it's a community, and we don't show up to a community and not talk, right? So the whole purpose of a community is not just like the host there just talking, 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 and giving value, giving value, giving value. A very important aspect of a Facebook group is for it to really carry itself. So if the admin is not there or not active, it's still going on. And to me, that's how I assess groups. Like, how active is it? And yes, it's up to the admin to kind of reel people in and take the lead, etc., etc. And that's where the work of it comes in. But I feel for CDB Design Studio in particular, it just did not fit, at least for right now, and it was taking a lot of me, even though like I told my assistant that okay, we're not gonna post um, as much as we used to. We're gonna focus content on the page, blah 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 blah. It still was taking energy away from me, just knowing that it's there, knowing that it's existing and pouring into it. Because I was gonna leave it open and have people still post about branding, still ask questions, etc., etc. But for me, I just felt like if my focus is a Facebook page now, I should just really focus on it. And I really was not sure what purpose it was really serving anymore. And I just felt like the Facebook group, the same thing you can get there, you can get here. So if people are really genuine and interested in branding and they want the content and they value the content, they would hop on the mailing list and subscribe to any new updates that comes their way, because Facebook page you miss things, so we would post things in the mailing list from time to time. And then you can subscribe here and get the notifications, and you can come if you really value the information. Because my whole thing is it's work, it's a lot of content for people to curate, and we live in this information age where we take information for granted. People are becoming very entitled to information, for you to stopping what you're doing to answer them and just be at their beck and call. And like, for example, there's Google, and people come on Facebook and ask all sorts of questions, and it's like, why are you asking this? You can find this out on Google. But we have this kind of, I don't know what it is with Facebook, this Facebook mentality that we're just going to pop on, ask a question, and somebody's going to just give us everything that we're looking for. Like, it's the information age. Everything is there. So much so to the point where we're taking it for granted. And now they want to bring net neutrality, where things just, it's not a free flow of the internet, etc., etc. So look out, that which you are taking for granted may not be as accessible anymore. I mean, I'm keeping positive that's not really going to get very far, but these are real things that could happen. So another thing is, tonight was supposed to be, I guess, well, not that I guess, supposed to be in the master class, but we're gonna have to push it back a couple dates because it's just not ready yet. And we did not get to really promote it, etc., etc. So it's gonna be pushed back, and stay tuned for when that will be going live again. So I'm gonna post the link to the sign up page at the end of this broadcast, and you can sign up for that broadcast. I mean, you can sign up for the masterclass and be notified for when the masterclass is going to happen. Right? So I put out a poll. Feel free to vote, because I want to know from you guys when is the best time. I know it's like Christmas time and everything, but yet there are many webinars running. So I want to know when is the best day between now and next week that you would want to show up for a website masterclass, so you can learn and see how easy it is to DIY your website. It's not that hard, and it's just to show you how easy it is. Now, I'm going to tell you that the focus of that masterclass is going to be content planning, because I've noticed firsthand that most clients always get stuck on content. And content is the meat of your website design. Content is the meat of your website design, because you are inviting people to come to your website to see something. You want them to take away something. You want them to take away information. You want them to buy from you. You want them to convert. Remember, your website is basically an employee. It's an investment. It's not an expense. It's an investment. That's why I think so many people tend to want to look for the cheapest thing, because it's an expense. But you can get the cheapest thing and it doesn't work, and that's what happens. So many people get a cheap website and then wonder, oh, this is probably just a waste of money because it wasn't strategically done. There was no real purpose. There was no real goal. And you didn't optimize your site to work for you. I mean, SEO is also another thing that most people overlook, probably because they don't know what it is. But essentially, SEO is how people find you on the internet, and you have to optimize, which that's the O in SEO. You have to optimize your site for your website to be found in a search engine, which is S and E. So a search engine is basically Bing, Yahoo, Google, right? You want to show up on the first page. Everybody wants to show up on the first page, second, maybe third, but you want to show up at least on the third or second page, if not the first page, which is great. Right, it's not that easy, but it's not so hard. And I realized that what makes it hard is the content. Once you are very clear and you have a clear roadmap, just like you're building a house, right? I always go back to a physical thing, right? If you're building a house, you need to have drawings, right? You want to map it out. You want to know how many pages, what's going where. I have main pages, sub pages, where they're going to line up, where this page is going to take them to. What do I want this page to do for me? What's the goal of each page? Each page must have a very clear goal that you want them. They want the visitor to, one, experience, and two, what you want to achieve when that person visits that page. So all of that, we're going to touch on it lightly in the website masterclass. And then you have the opportunity to upgrade and start your website as part of a course/coaching program. And why I call it coaching, because it's not just a course that you purchase and you're left to do the course all by yourself. No, there's a group of us, all the other people who purchase the course along with you are going to be there on a weekly call where we work through your website. So it's not a massive class either. Like, it's not going to be a whole bunch of people, and it's going to be just the right size where I can help guide you with anything that you may be having problems with. So you might have a question on this, and then I will come on and we'll do a group call and I walk you through your site. You share your screen, I see what's your problem, and I answer it there every single week, and it's a 4-week program. So the website masterclass is just to show you the possibilities of what you can do on your own. It was mainly created for persons who just don't have the budget to get a proper, good website done. Not just any old website that is just thrown up there and it's an online brochure where you just flip through and it's like, hi, we were established and so by so an about page. I started this business because blah, 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 blah. And then we have a contact page and contact us. No, it's going to be much more than that. And I'm not going to go too much more into what to expect because I'm more or less going to give it away. But you're going to learn some secrets to a strategic website, how you want to lay it out, and of course, some branding as well. We're going to touch on branding, how to brand it, make sure everything is looking cohesive because that's very important. We specialize here at CDB in strategic yet beautiful online homes that exude your brand. So we're going to touch on those things. It's mainly a website course, but of course, the branding queen can't leave you hanging where your cohesiveness in your branding is concerned. Thanks, Abby. I'm glad you think it's great. So as usual, share. Hi, Nicole. If you're still on, share this video. All of you who are watching, give me your feedback. What do you think about DIYing your website? What do you think about a course/coaching program where I help walk you through doing your website on your own and we check in once a week for 4 weeks? I'm making it as easy and as bite-sized as possible by spreading it over 4 weeks, but not making it too long where you lose interest, you get bored, and then you start to make excuses that you're busy and live and have to run the business. No, you have 4 weeks. You're going to focus on building your website. In 4 weeks, it's 30 days to launch your site. Yay! Thanks, Leslie, for the feedback. Right, so share and let other people know about this website course that's going to be launching either in, actually no, it's launching in January-ish, February, maybe mid-January, once things go according to plan. And best of all of you who's turn up for the masterclass, or at least register and watch the masterclass, you get to come into the first intake of the course, which is the beta, and you get it for 50% off the full price. Awesome, Nicole. Awesome. Yeah. So you really don't want to miss the masterclass. I know that this has been coming. Well, we did the masterclass before, but we're doing a replay, and the replay is going to focus on what is most people's sticking point. So once you can see that it is possible, once you get over that mental hurdle of creating that content, because people think it's so hard and so much work, but nobody knows your business better than you. And even if you go to have your website done, you have to create your content. So it's going to be beneficial to you, whether you decide to do the website yourself or you don't decide to do the website yourself. You're gonna get some tips on gathering content and how to make sense of all the madness, because I know you have all this content all up in your head, and it's to organize it and help it make sense. So you want to get registered for the masterclass. I'm going to post the link. Don't pay too much attention to the date. It was supposed to happen tonight, but I'm going to change the date as soon as I am very, very sure when I'm going to do the masterclass. And somewhere on the feed of CDBD Design Studio, there's a poll. So enter your answers of what day of the week you prefer. I already have an idea of what time I want to go with, because I got some other feedback and that timing is in line for when I would want to do it. So what I really want to know is what day and a date. And then I'm going to compile to see, okay, most people are available this day, because I want as many people to be present on this next one as much as possible. Yes, it's a labor of love. And the thing is, when your website is done, quote unquote done. Okay, let me rephrase that. When your website launches, it's not done. The date you launch your site, it's not done. It's always working. When you open a store, that doesn't mean your store is done. You're always, every day you open the store, you wipe the windows, you sweep it out, you rearrange how you want to lay out, where you want to put a shoe or a bag, depending on whatever you have in the store. It always changes, right? You're always spring cleaning, etc., etc. The information might change. Remember, your business is growing as you grow, and you're gonna need to change stuff from time to time. So it's a constant work in progress. It's like I said, it's your online home, and your home, when you move into your house or your new apartment, it just doesn't stay that way. Hey, Nicole, I'm glad you're looking forward to it. Leslie said, will help so many people, and the quality websites will come back to life again. Yeah. Because there are a lot of, I mean, I don't want to bash anybody. I mean, it is TeaTime Tuesday after all, so it's a kind of open mic to just tell it like it is. But some people just don't put that much effort into it. That's just the facts. Many web designers don't put that much effort into it. And usually those are the ones who you can't find and contact afterwards. Or even if they stop web designing, they can't recommend you to somebody who's similar to them in terms of price point and service. You know, there's very few little after sales service, and apart from the after sales service, it's just really, really basic. And as easy as it is to just throw up a 5-page, 6-page basic website. I just don't believe in them. And that's why you would find that I don't compromise price and compromise the package in order to accommodate certain pricing, because I just don't believe in a basic website. So now the other thing that is, yes, a sip. And I picked up the mug just as you said that comment. So speaking of Boss Lady mugs, I'm giving away, I think it's about 6. I had set aside to give away to special people. And on Christmas Eve, I will go live and announce who are the special people who get one of these. All right. So I have the list written down somewhere of the names. I have an idea of these 6 people. And then that's the night I'm going to say who gets the little gift certificate token. So now is your chance to go and rewatch as many Tea Time Tuesday videos and comment, leave a comment, and the people who I find are most active, who've been the most active within the past 6 weeks or so, will get that Starbucks gift certificate. And if you are on the mailing list for the website, okay, for the website masterclass, I also put out an incentive for replying to the email. So if you didn't reply, you still have time to reply, but by the time I choose a date for the masterclass, well, that's it. All right, so it's been about 21 minutes. If you all have any questions, feel free to ask. If you have any questions on website design, Squarespace, branding, logos, etc., now is your time to ask questions and give me feedback. And if you want a one-on-one brand session, we have brand audits that you can purchase and get a 60-minute call where we go through your brand, go through all your social media channels, all your digital media, and give you a brand audit. And it's not just a brand audit, it's a brand and website audit. So if you have a website, even better. Preferably the brand audit is for persons with websites, but if you don't and you still want an audit, it's still available. Oh, one question that I have been asking on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, head on over to CDB_design studio. What is branding? In my Facebook group, I have been giving everything on branding for the past year. And now I want to hear from you all what you think branding is in your own words. Tell me what is branding in your own words. I'm trying to gather some information. So help me out and just tell me. There's no right or wrong answer. I just want to know what you all think branding is and what you perceive branding to be. When you think branding, what comes to mind? When someone tells you your business needs to get branding, what do you think? Anything else do I need to cover tonight? I was thinking to talk about why Squarespace, but because it's already been 23 minutes, I will do that on another live, maybe afternoon tea. Okay, great question, Nicole. So ultimately, the course is going to be Squarespace based, and I guess I should really do why Squarespace. WordPress, what I really plan to really cover in general with the masterclass and with the course, but it's going to be based in Squarespace. With the course, with the masterclass, the free masterclass, is principles of website design. So you can take these principles and use them in WordPress as well, because content planning is universal and you need to have a great content plan on how to lay out your site regardless of what platform you are on. But I'm not going to go into anything technical where WordPress is concerned. There are things I'll be able to answer where if you ask the questions, but it's not going to, the focus is not to be on the platform per se, especially WordPress. Now you can ask Squarespace questions, mainly being because the course, the actual paid course, is going to be based in Squarespace. And I choose Squarespace because it's the easiest thing for solopreneurs to manage. I highly recommend Squarespace, not just because I use it, but I use it because it's easy. And for solopreneurs, most people who are starting out, WordPress is just a lot for them to manage. I know all the WordPress gurus are going to tell you, no, it's easy, it's easy. But from my experience and from all the feedback that I've gotten from people who aren't tech savvy, one, and two, who just don't have the time to make sure that it's always updated. Yeah, it's always updated. Like if you have a 9 to 5 and you're running a business, you don't need the added stress of all the technicalities of WordPress. If you plan on hiring somebody on retainer, then by all means go with WordPress because they'll take care of it for you. But there's no need really for it, in my opinion. I mean, my opinion would be biased. Straight up, I will be real with you. It would be a bias, but I find WordPress is just makes life easier. You don't have to think about your hosting because everything, it's a one-stop shop. You know, you get your domain, you get your hosting. You don't have to think about a theme. Well, actually, sorry. Yes, you do. But it's a lot easier than having to install so many different themes because there's so many options with WordPress. It's easy to get very like confused. And the plugins, I don't have the time for plugin life. You know, there's just so many plugins out there to do so many different things. And it's a very powerful platform, don't get me wrong. It's really good, but I just do not think it's the best platform for DIYers, especially people who want that control in their business. Even if you hire a web designer who specializes in Squarespace, after they hand over the site to you, it makes your life way easier when you can just hop in and make a change and hop back out. You could make a change within half an hour or less. You can swap out pictures, update your site. It's just not, this doesn't take as long. It's a very visual, so you see things as you build it. Whereas WordPress, it has like the back end, the front end. Yes, there are visual editors, but again, you have to have a plugin. It's very, very technical, and it's just a lot more. It does allow you the freedom to really tweak and change things up. But if you're not a web designer, I won't recommend you to go through all of that unnecessarily. Yeah, Nicole, I remember you spoke about your attempt at DIY, and it was one of your comments that made me think about creating something like this, because you said that you started in WordPress, you tried Squarespace, you tried Wix. Not 100% sure on the Squarespace, but you told me about 3 platforms and you got stuck on all of them. And the problem is because there's no proper content plan and you don't have a clear process of start to finish to follow. And that's why Elevate is created, because you have a clear process from start to finish. And each week there's an exercise of what you need to do first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Leslie said, when I think branding, I think this is what is going to determine if I am seen as high-end quality or a generic brand. Yeah, that's a very good answer. That's a very good answer. Branding is where you get to, well, I'm responding to one aspect of branding there. This is where you get to sculpt the perception that you want your audience to perceive, because one way or the other, people are going to perceive you in a particular way, and you want to make sure that you are perceived the way you want to be perceived. So with this, Nicole said, with this feedback in mind. How can I delete the one I created so I would not be getting the notification to publish it? How do you delete it? I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'll have to get back to you, but we will talk. All right, so I hope that answers your questions on Squarespace. I more or less kind of touched on why Squarespace. I mean, one of the big things is plugins. It's very easy to get confused on WordPress if you're not tech savvy. So Squarespace is much, much easier, especially for the DIYers out there. Now, there are professional Squarespace designers, reason being because we really know how to work the hell out of Squarespace, add code into it to customize it even more and make it even more dynamic. There are just certain things that if you're not a web designer or Squarespace web designer, you may not be able to do on your own without pointers, etc. And best of all, everybody's going to leave Elevate with the Facebook pixel installed, which everybody needs if you're running Facebook ads on your Facebook page. So yeah, it's been about 31 minutes. It's time for me to wrap up. I'm probably going to do a afternoon tea again before the week is out. If not, afternoon tea, look out for that segment on afternoons, anytime after lunchtime. It may be 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. on an afternoon. I'm going to be live again on Christmas Eve to say who gets a Boss Lady mug this year. What else? Stay tuned for the masterclass and join the mailing list. I'm going to post links to everything later. So have a good night, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. And remember to share this live. Share. Good night. Bye.